In a remote village of Punjab stood an abandoned mansion that everyone called the Mansion of Darkness. It was said to have been built during the British era, and once a wealthy landlord lived there with his wife and children. One night, a sudden fire consumed the entire building, and the whole family died inside. Since then, no one dared to step near it after sunset. Villagers claimed they could hear a woman crying, children screaming, and the deep laughter of a man echoing from the walls. Ahmed, a young man from Lahore, was passionate about photography and making YouTube videos. He had 3 close friends, Saeed, Bilal, and Faraz. Together, they decided to visit the mansion and make a horror documentary to show people the truth behind the rumors. When they arrived in the village around sunset, the villagers grew uneasy seeing them. An old woman approached Ahmed and warned him not to go near the mansion at night. She told him that whoever entered after dark never returned, that even the walls inside were alive. Ahmed laughed off her words, assuring her that they would only record some footage and come back. The old woman held his hand and whispered one last warning. If they must go, they should return before dawn, or the mansion would never let them leave. At 9 o'clock that night, they reached the gates of the mansion. Rusty chains hung from the broken wooden doors. The moment they stepped inside, a cold wind blew across their faces, as if welcoming them. The air smelled of damp wood and something metallic, like blood. On the walls were half-burned portraits. In one painting, the landlord's face was still clear, but the rest of the family's faces were covered with dark smoke stains. Saeed turned on the camera and began recording. As soon as he focused, a pale image of a woman with long hair appeared on the screen. He spun around quickly, but no one was there. The friends tried to laugh it off, yet uneasiness had already crept into their hearts. They moved deeper into the mansion. When they reached the drawing room, a loud crash echoed from the upper floor, as though something heavy had fallen. Bilal froze and asked nervously what it was. Ahmed tried to calm him, saying it was just old wood breaking. They climbed the stairs together, their footsteps echoing in the silence. Upstairs stretched a long corridor with a single large room at the end. The moment they stepped inside, the door slammed shut behind them with such force that the walls shook. Faraz's voice trembled as he asked who had closed it. No answer came. Suddenly, in the corner of the room, an old rocking chair began to move slowly, creaking back and forth, though no one was sitting on it. Bilal's voice shook as he whispered to Ahmed that a woman was staring at them from the corner. The camera still recorded everything. In its lens, they could clearly see a figure in white clothes with blood-red eyes. But when Ahmed looked with his own eyes, there was nothing there. Then all the lights went out, plunging the room into pitch darkness. A deep, chilling laugh filled the air, so close that it felt like someone was standing right beside them. In panic, they ran toward the stairs, but what they saw made their blood freeze. The staircase was gone. In its place was a deep, endless well that seemed to swallow all light. Faraz switched on his phone's flashlight. On the wall in front of them, written in fresh blood, were the words, "You all must stay here forever." Before they could move, a child's voice echoed through the dark corridor, calling softly, "Uncle, please take me out of here." Their legs refused to move. Right after the child's voice came the sound of a woman sobbing, followed by the booming laughter of a man that shook the entire mansion. The camera slipped from Saeed's hands and crashed onto the floor. The last thing it recorded was their terrified screams before everything went silent. The next morning, the villagers found the mansion's doors open. Inside, there was only a broken camera lying on the dusty floor. When they played it, they heard footsteps running, desperate cries, and horrifying screams, but saw nothing else. Ahmed and his 3 friends had vanished without a trace. There were no bodies, no belongings, nothing except one fresh message smeared across the wall in blood. "We have found new companions. To this day, villagers say that when someone passes the mansion at night, they can hear the voices of 4 young men calling for help. Some even claim they've seen a boy holding a camera near the wall, only for him to dissolve into smoke the moment anyone approaches.